CIG and false advertising. Let's break this apart. For Coramore, which is an in-Lower Valentine's event, SIG released for sale a Heartseeker upgrade kit for both the Super Hornet Mark II and the Hornet Mark II. The upgrade kits contained a Heartseeker paint, along with a bespoke turret and a Coramore themed personal armour. The Hornet Mark II upgrade kit cost $30 for those living in the UK. On SIG's web store, they used the same image of the paints to advertise the upgrade kits, whether it was for the Hornet or the Super Hornet. And that's where things get interesting. When you select the Hornet Mark II upgrade kit, you're again shown the same image of the paint. And the text says it is the classic pin-up livery exclusively compatible with the Hornet Mark II series. Defenders of the corporation, aye, they exist. At this point say the image used in the Hornet upgrade kit is the Super Hornet, and so it is not false advertising that the paint does not match the image when it is applied to the Hornet. That's right, folks. According to these geniuses, companies do not have to deliver you a product that matches their advert, as long as they use a different model in the advert than the one you're buying it for. And it is for you to know it is a different model, despite it never being said in the advert. I kid you not, that at least some of these bots are actually human and not marketing drones. This is a ridiculous argument for a number of reasons. If you're new to Star Citizen, I'll explain. The Super and normal Hornets are nearly identical. The Super is a two-seater and has slightly larger dimensions. Neither of these things are easily discernible from the marketing ad, and it is not something a new player could possibly be expected to know. It is reasonable to assume that the picture used in the advert is in fact the picture of the product you're buying the kit for, and you shouldn't be expected to give it more than a cursory glance or check to confirm that SIG have used the correct image in their advert. Even if, stay with me here, even if we grant that a customer should know the difference between a Super Hornet and a Hornet, and should have seen that difference in the ad, the text in the ad plainly states the upgrade kit is compatible with all Mark II Hornets. So any reasonable person would assume the paint, when applied to their Hornet, would look like the image of the Hornet in the ad. To leave my favourite corporation alone, Defenders, second line of defence, and yes, this is getting into the realms of absurd, is that the text says compatible, not identical. And this caveat means it is not false advertising. This sophistry in this argument reminds me to never argue with stupid people, because they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. The paint, when applied to the Hornet, is a completely different paint. It isn't a small divergence from the advert, it is a wholly different paint, outside of the art decal on the nose. You cannot put the two paints side by side and claim they're the same paint, because they are completely different in every way. It is not the paint shown in the advert, which is the whole damn point. SIG could have shown an accurate representation of the paint in the ad, but they didn't. While art is subjective, in my view, the paint that is delivered for the Hornets is nowhere near the quality of the paint used to advertise the sale. So it is a classic bait and switch, a marketing tactic used by shady companies the world over. What this is about is holding CIG to very basic standards that all companies have to adhere to in the UK. When you advertise something, the product you deliver must match the advertisement. In the case of the Heartseeker upgrade kit, it is a very obvious example of SIG not being in compliance with UK statute. I created a forum thread on SIG's website to draw attention to this in the hope of a voluntary course correction. There was a short official reply which amounted to not acknowledging the paints were actually different paints, and will try not to do it again, with no commitment to correct the ongoing sale. Whilst the thread was very active and nearly all the replies were on topic, CIG edited my OP and logged the thread. When companies fail to voluntarily course correct, well, that's the whole point of regulatory bodies. And as such, I reported the false and misleading advert to the UK Advertising Standards Authority. If a company refuses to stop being scummy, then they'll be forced to not be scummy. The ASA have confirmed they consider the ad in breach of the code, which they will pursue, and have issued CIG an advisory. I do know I'm not the only UK customer who reported this instance of piss poor practice. A Star Citizen content creator called Dig That made a video about the case where he said this would typically be too nerdy a topic to get into. That's right, folks. The irony of an internet spaceship YouTube creator labelling anything too nerdy should open a hole in the space time continuum where all the too cool for school nerds vanish up their own asses. Press that self-awareness pre-flight check button, Dig That. A common complaint of his peanut gallery is that it is only a paint job, and so reporting it to the ASA is an overblown reaction. This ignores the fact that I raised the issue with CIG first and foremost, and despite that, what the purchase and yes marketing bots in the UK, it is a purchase, not a donation or a pledge or whatever other silly label you call it. What the purchase is, whether it is an upgrade kit for $30 or an internet spaceship for $1,000, is irrelevant. It's slightly mind-boggling that some people's brains have been so astroturfed that they consider complaining over a misleading $30 purchase to be abnormal, while spending thousands on internet space assets in a computer game to be totally normal. The absurdity of human beings will never cease to provide comedy material. That's where we're at, folks. If you want to discuss it in the comments, feel free to. I'll provide updates as to the conclusion of the saga, and let's hope it makes SIG better and more responsible in the products they sell to all. Your rights exist for a reason, but it is inherent upon you to assert them, or companies like CIG will continue doing whatever they can get away with. You too should report false and misleading advertising to whoever your jurisdiction's authorities are. See no pew out.